In the headlines, President Tinubu appoints 2 new ministers to take charge of youth ministry. 5 dead, 12 injured in multiple crashes on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. JNI, Plateau State government differ on 500 million palliatives. And away from Nigeria, Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso establish Sahel Security Alliance. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thanks for joining us. President Bola Tinubu has approved the nomination of Dr. Jamila Bayo Ibrahim to serve as the Minister of Youth, pending her confirmation by the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In a statement released by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Tinubu has also approved the nomination of Mr. Ayodele Olawande to serve as the Minister of State for Youth, pending his confirmation by the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Dr. Jamila Bayo Ibrahim is a young medical doctor and most recently served as the president of the Progressive Young Women Forum. She also has served as the Senior Special Assistant to the Kwara State Governor on Sustainable Development Goals. Ayodele Olawande is a community development expert and youth leader in the governing All Progressives Congress. He most recently served in the office of the Special Advisor to the President on Innovation from 2019 to 2023. President Tinubu charges the above-mentioned nominees to ensure that they consistently reflect the dynamism, innovative zeal, and unyielding productivity that are synonymous with the young people of Nigeria as they discharge their duties. And now, away from that, 5 persons have died with 12 others injured in multiple crashes on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway in Ogun State. It was gathered that the accident happened in the early hours of Sunday around the 4 Square camp in Ajebo, a village in Obafemi Owode local government area of the state. The Ogun State Sector Command of the Federal Road Safety Corps confirmed the incident. FRSC spokesman in the state, Florence Okwe, said a total of 21 persons were involved in the multiple crashes. The multiple crashes involved 3 vehicles with registration numbers KMC 810ZB, a DAF truck, TMA 244XA, a Toyota bus, and a Mitsubishi pickup with no registration number on it. The suspected causes of the crash were speed, tire burst, and loss of control on the part of the truck driver whose vehicle crashed and occupied the road, and others were running into the crashed vehicle. The injured victims were said to have been taken to Victory Hospital, Ogere, for medical attention, while the corpses were deposited at FOS Morgue, Ipara. On his part, the Ogun FRSC Sector Commander Anthony Uga advised motorists to shun the use of substandard tires and also apply common sense speed limit, especially in this rainy season. He also sympathized with the families of the victims and enjoined them to visit the FRSC Ogun Marking Unit for more information about the crash. Now, Kwara State Governor Abdulrahman Abdul-Razak has charged security agencies in the state to unravel the cause of the death of a 27-year-old journalist, Yusuf Mubarak, who was allegedly murdered in Ilorin, the state capital. The body of the late journalist was discovered in Ilorin on Saturday. The governor, in a statement by his chief press secretary, Rafiu Ajakaye, released to newsmen, described as shocking and saddening the death of Mubarak under hazy circumstances that the governor said must be investigated by security agencies. Mubarak, a new media personality who hails from Ilorin, according to a statement from the government house, went missing on Wednesday night, but his lifeless body was eventually found around the Unity Road area of the state capital on Saturday. The Kwara State PDP also commiserates with family and friends over Mubarak's death, just as the party decries resurgence of cult-related killings in Ilorin. And the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has filed a lawsuit against President Bola Tinubu over what they called his failure to stop the former governors who are now serving as ministers in his administration from collecting life pensions and other retirement benefits from their states while they serve as ministers. The ministers mentioned in the suit are Badar Abubakar, Nyesom Wike, Bello Matawale, Adegboyega Oyetola, and David Umahi. Others are Simon Lalong, Atiku Bagudu, and Ibrahim Gaidam. Serap said the ministers are to be joined in the suit as defendants. Serap is seeking an order of mandamus to direct and compel President Tinubu to instruct the former governors who are now serving as ministers to forthwith return any pensions and retirement benefits collected by them since leaving office to the public treasury. According to Serap, while many pensioners are not paid their pensions, former governors serving as ministers get paid huge severance benefits upon leaving office and are poised to enjoy double emoluments on top of the opulence of political office holders. No date has been fixed for the hearing of the suit. And now the Plateau State chapter of Jamaatul Nasser Islam has accused the state government of excluding Muslims amongst the beneficiaries of the 500 million naira support donated by the wife of the president, Oluremi Tinubu. The First Lady had on Tuesday, during her visit to sympathize with the people of the state over the recent killings and attacks, presented the check of 500 million naira to Governor Caleb Mutfwang to be disbursed to 500 families of the victims in 6 local government areas of the state. But the JNI says Muslims who were victims of the crisis were not captured in the list submitted to the First Lady, a claim the state government has denied. Trust TV's Adomusa reports.
More than 300 people were killed and hundreds displaced in various attacks and killings in villages of Bassa, Jos North, Riom, Bokos, Barikiladi, and Mongu local government areas of the state. To ease the sufferings of the affected victims, the wife of the president donated the sum of 500 million naira to the victims of the crisis, adding that the disbursement is part of the gesture of the Renew Hope initiative under the office of the First Lady. Reacting to the support by the JNI in the state, the group secretary, Dr. Salim Musa, accused the state government of excluding Muslims in the list, an allegation that the State Commissioner of Information, Musa Ashams, denied, saying that the selection has no bearing with religion or ethnicity.
The state government is just trying to be clever by half. It's not the right thing. What we did as representative of the Muslim Ummah is to encourage the state government to be fair, to rise up to her responsibility. The governor, as a father to all, irrespective of tribe or religion, should be able to carry everybody alone. We advise him to look at the list and make amends, so that all the Muslim victims will also feel that sense of belonging. Unfortunately, in trying to manage the fallout of this list, they are just trying to mislead people further. It's very unfortunate. The state government is not doing anything that will carry every Muslim along.
The JNI secretary further said it is not too late for the state government to review the list and ensure fairness.
It's not too late to make amends. They should go back to the drawing board. We have Muslims that are affected in Mangu local government. We have Muslims that are affected in Bokos. We have Muslims that are affected in Riom and Barikiladi, including Bassa and Jos South. There is no reason why you don't have one single Muslim that is affected. And the office of the First Lady did not specify that you should give it to the Christians alone. They said victims of the crisis. So why are you denying the Muslims at least, even if it is 10% or 15%, you have to include them. They are there, they are victims, they are affected. So we are calling on the state government to do the needful. It's not the issue of coming out to debunk the list. You compile the list and submit it to the office of the First Lady. You cannot defend the indefensible. We have the list, it is authentic, it had the seal of the office of the First Lady with the state government. So go and review this list and then include the Muslims. That is all we are asking for.
According to the First Lady, each family of the victim is to be given 1 million naira to cushion the effect of the various attacks and killings in the affected local government areas. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
Prices of foodstuffs have crashed in Taraba State, according to Daily Trust findings. This followed bumper harvest recorded in all the 16 local government areas of the state. So far, crops harvested in the state include maize, rice, yam, Irish potatoes, early maturing beans, cassava, melon seed, millet, and beniseed. Findings also showed that 100-kilogram bag of maize sold few weeks ago at the rate of 60,000 naira is now sold between 28,000 naira to 20,000 naira, depending on the locations of the markets. Similarly, 100-kilogram bag of dried cassava, which became major foodstuff among the residents, sold at the rate of 28,000 naira, is now sold at the rate of 14,000 naira. Prices of yam, millet, and rice also crashed across the state. The finding further revealed Taraba State is witnessing uninterrupted rainfall, which farmers said was responsible of the bumper harvest being witnessed across the state. Daily Trust finding further revealed that middlemen are making bulk purchase of newly harvested crops in markets across the state, prompting concerns the prices may soon go up again. And now the Bayelsa state government says the state is yet to feel the impact of the promises made by the federal government to address the economic crisis caused by the fuel subsidy removal months after. The technical advisor to Governor Doye Diri on Treasury, Revenue and Accounts, Timipre Seipolo, stated this during the state transparency briefing for the months of June and July 2023. Friday, Ebimowe Peter has a report.
According to Seipolo, contrary to expectation, the removal of fuel subsidy has not resulted in an increase in derivation fund from the Federal Account Allocation Committee (FAC). Seipolo, however, confirmed receipt of 2 billion naira palliative funds from the federal government and assured that the state government was mapping out an all-inclusive plan for the distribution of the fund.
Fuel subsidy palliative, the state government has received 2 billion. When the transparency of August is given, you will see the report of that because the money was received in August. 2 billion has been received, and government is already making efforts to come up with a full program on the for the palliatives for the state. The fuel subsidy removal and all of that, and the allocations have increased materially, but you will see the figures we have called have not reflected that expectation. If you look at April, if you look at your April report, our FAC receipts net was about 23 billion. In May, it's 21 billion. In June, 19 billion. July, 21 billion. And even in August, it's even less than that.
At the close of July, the state coffers had a balance of 1.436 billion naira after recurrent and capital expenditures. Friday, Ebimobowe Peter, Trust TV News, Yanagwa.
The Transmission Company of Nigeria said it has restored bulk power supply to Sokoto State. It added that its engineers are working to extend the power restoration to Kebbi State and other areas affected by the burning Kebbi substation fire incident. A release by TCN General Manager, Public Affairs Ndidi Mba said the bulk power supply to Sokoto State was reinstated through the Talata Marafa substation. According to TCN, its engineering team, along with the managing director and CEO and the executive director, transmission service provider, are on site, putting in every effort to reconnect Kebbi and its environs to the grid through another substation. The statement also said TCN engineers are working to transfer load to the 150 MVA and 60 MVA power transformers in the substation unaffected by the fire, while cables are being rearranged and reinforcement teams from other TCN regions have arrived at the substation with the necessary materials to expedite repair work. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up shortly, we'll take a look at the attributes to rise in failed marriages. Details of this story and more to come after the break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is a news update on Trust TV. Now let's take a look at a recap of some of our major stories. We told you that President Tinubu appoints new ministers to take charge of youth ministry. 5 dead, 12 injured in multiple crashes in Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. And now to more news stories. Despite the level of exposure and education amongst the people, age-long practice of forced and arranged marriage still exists in most communities who see nothing wrong with the tradition. But how much do people know about the negative consequences of this practice, especially where the couples are not compatible? Trust TV's Hamido Yegbade speaks with people in a cross-section of Osogbo, the Osun State capital. Here's that report.
Forced and arranged marriages were common practice among people in some communities around the world. Its practice is not only applicable to people of young age, it does happen to adults as well. This practice is common among the rich, in which young male and female who do not share love or consent to marriage are joined in marriage so as to protect certain interests.
I want to say forced marriage or arranged marriage. It's done maybe because of the friendship, of the relationship on ground for the people. They don't want to go too far or to the extreme. They don't want to go to an unknown family that they don't know the background, that they don't know their people.
Ideally, forced marriage is not something that we should encourage in our society. Because again, when you look at the high level of marital problems and divorces that we witness nowadays in society, of course, we discover that most of these are as a result of forced marriage that of course, that have become so prevalent in society, and that is also a pointer to the fact that yes, forced marriage should not be encouraged.
Scripturally, it is allowed. For example, Abraham arranged a wife for Isaac. He gave instruction to a servant that he should go to his kinsmen and find wife for his son.
Though not specific to a particular ethnic group, nationality or background, victims of forced marriage cut across boundaries, race and geographic affiliations. While it works for some, after years of living together with their spouses, many are not lucky as they end up with either broken homes or shattered marital dreams and expectations.
Meanwhile, residents of Owerri, the Imo State capital, have attributed the rise in failed marriages across the country to forced and arranged unions. To this end, they are calling on Nigerians to shun the habit of forcing or arranging marriages on people to avoid unions that will crash in the future. Ajibade Awofesho has the details in this report.
Marriage is a legally consummated union between a man and a woman. It often comes with the consent of both parties, regulated by laws, rules, customs, beliefs and traditions of parties involved. Despite being sacred and intended to last a lifetime, it is however worrisome that some marriages are now devoid of these significant factors. These women say such marriages are either forced or arranged without absolute consent of the man or the woman, adding that most times such unions end in bitterness.
Forced marriage or arranged marriage. When you hear such word, it means that there is no total agreement or consent of the person going into such relationship. Therefore, it might likely crash in the nearest future.
When people are linked together, there's no connection between the both parties, and that is where you have all manner of issues coming up. Do you understand? In marriage, there's so much disagreement. There's no agreement between the man because they don't even know themselves. They don't understand themselves at all.
According to the women, poverty, covetousness, and ignorance are major reasons why people go into forced marriage.
Some want to be what they are not up to. They will not allow what is what God have for them to come to pass. They just want to wake up. I want to be the wife of a president. I want to be the wife of a governor. I want to be the wife of, let my husband be this, that comparison. You know, when they are not real, that is why the fake came in.
I'm the woman, the man should pay for all my bills, should take care of me. And so you have that kind of mentality and you go into it because you have not clarified the expectations. You have also not clarified the fact that for every right you have a responsibility. What are my responsibilities? What are my rights?
Some men who also spoke on the matter said forced marriages should be discouraged in their entirety as they do not represent the interests of the spouses.
It's common amongst parents who are not well enlightened. Maybe they feel that man has money, or is influential in society, or is the type of person that can give them all they want materially, not minding how their child will feel where she's going.
Yeah, one of the problems or cause of forced marriage is poverty. When, especially in the villages, in the rural community, where parents are very poor. So what they end up doing is to betroth son to a man who is wealthy.
From the submissions of the residents, it is pertinent to note that an ideal marriage should have consent of both parties if it must succeed and stand the test of time. Ajibade Awofeso, Trust TV News, Owerri.
Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu has approved the use of concrete road technology for the construction of roads across the country as it is durable and cost-effective. The president also gives a nod for the construction of coastal highways under the government's Highways Development Management Initiative. Minister of Works David Umahi said this to State House correspondents after meeting with President Tinubu at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Umahi says the time has come for all constructors working in Nigeria to ensure that they strictly respect the global best practices in engineering that enhance the durability of all construction work for both for roads and bridges with the best quality of materials being used. The minister, who frowned at situations where some contracts have been ongoing for 20 years, said it was not good for the contractors, projects and the clients. The minister said at the moment, federal government has up to 14 trillion naira ongoing projects against 18,000 kilometers across the country, adding that with the renewed hope mantra, contractors must complete projects within 4 years.
Our concrete road technology we have designed will take any load. That if you're able to put tires and then carry load, the concrete technology is going to take it. I'm aware that the contractors have been quarreling and arguing and, so I want to declare that I'm open for any kind of blackmail, but my eyes are on the ball. And my eyes are, how do we get Nigerians to have value for their money? And that is the assignment President Bola Ahmed Tinubu gave to me. And I'm going to do that with the fear of God. Any other president possibly will come and abandon the ongoing projects and will start his projects. But we have not initiated one single project.
And now away from Nigeria, Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger have signed a mutual defense pact as the three Sahel countries aim to help each other against possible threats of armed rebellion or external aggression. The charter, known as the Alliance of Sahel States, binds the signatories to assist one another, including militarily, in the event of an attack on any one of them. The Liptako Gourma region, where the Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger borders meet, has been ravaged by armed rebellion in recent years. An armed rebellion that erupted in northern Mali in 2012 spread to Niger and Burkina Faso in 2015. 14 people on a small jet died when the plane crashed in Brazil's northern Amazonas state. The aircraft's pilot approached the tourist town of Barcelos in heavy rain with low visibility and appeared to inadvertently start landing halfway down the runway. The plane ran out of landing strip and crashed. The region faces heavy rainfall, and the most likely cause of the accident was an error in the route taken at the time of landing. The Manaus Aerotaxi airline issued a statement confirming there had been an accident and said it is investigating. It offered no details. With that, we've come to the end of Trust TV News Updates. Do not forget to follow us across all of our social media platforms. Join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thanks for your time.